In a bustling city filled with tall buildings and busy streets, there lived a man named Daniel. He was an ordinary person with an extraordinary heart. Daniel believed in the power of small acts of kindness, even though the world around him often seemed cold and indifferent. One chilly winter evening, Daniel was walking home from work when he noticed an elderly woman struggling to carry her heavy bags. Without a second thought, Daniel approached her and offered his help. The woman, surprised but grateful, accepted. As they walked together, she shared her story. She had recently lost her husband and was now living alone, feeling isolated and lonely. He invited her to his home for a warm meal. That night, Daniel cooked a simple dinner, and they sat together, sharing stories and laughter. It was the first time in a long while that Mrs. Thompson had felt truly seen and cared for. As the weeks passed, Daniel continued to visit Mrs. Thompson, helping her with groceries and spending time with her. Mrs. Thompson's loneliness began to fade, replaced by a sense of belonging and joy. One day, Mrs. Thompson gave Daniel a small, worn-out book. It was a collection of her late husband's poetry. With tears in her eyes, she told Daniel that his kindness had brought light into her life during her darkest days. She wanted him to have the book as a token of her gratitude. Daniel was deeply moved. He realized that the simple act of reaching out to a stranger had created a ripple of warmth and compassion, touching not just Mrs. Thompson's life, but his own as well. Small acts of kindness can change lives in ways we can't imagine. Daniel's story reminds us that compassion and empathy can create powerful connections, even in the busiest of places. It encourages us to look beyond ourselves and reach out to those in need, making the world a little brighter, one act of kindness at a time.